I'm pleased to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Muthukumar Eswaran, Director of Technology at Kasadara Technology Solutions. Muthu is a seasoned technology leader with deep expertise in enterprise solution architecture, technology strategy, and digital transformation. With a strong Microsoft background and a track record of delivering solutions across multiple industries, he has helped organizations modernize their operations through scalable, business focused technology. Today, he'll show how Lease Nexus, built on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, helps property management organizations simplify lease administration, automate rent collection and maintenance workflows, along with improvement in tenant experiences and gain real-time visibility across their operations. I'm confident you'll find today's session both insightful and practical. With that, I'll hand it over to Muthu. Over to you, Muthu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. I'll share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Muthu.
Thank you. So, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Muthukumar, and over the next half an hour, I want to show you a smart way to manage properties, lease, and tenants. One that finally connects the two world most property teams keeps apart, the accounting systems where the money lives, the portal where the tenants actually interact with you. The platform we are going to walk through is called Lease Nexus. It's in a real-time ERP integrated built in directly on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. The phrase ERP integrated is the heart of everything I will show you today. So keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. It means your tenant invoice, your payments, and your lease records and your tenant facing app are not three or four disconnected tools. It's strictly together. They are the one connected system. They have multiple systems are using for all technologies. Nowadays they're using multiple system for lease separate, tenant separate, and ERP separated. But this is a single system. They call it as a one connected system. I'm going to the next slides. What's the problem landscape? Let us start with the problem, because if you manage property today, I suspect at least one of these three will feel familiar. We have three problems which I have highlighted. The first one, what I call database drift and accounting mess. Most property teams run their tenant record in one system, tenant record in one system, and they are accounting in the another system. So every rent invoice and every deposits and every ledger must be rekeyed on half synced between two. You have to rekey or have to be while syncing itself also. You didn't get a most proper information. It's not required information. The second problem is the tenant experience itself. The standard tenant portals tend to be slow or static portal, and syncing it is not a live record. It will be a half way of getting older records, and you have to wait for it to be synced and painful of the food. The tenant cannot see where the lease stands, and they cannot tell what the payment went through and when a lease lapses into expiry date. So if you paid, whether it will be reaching to them or the invoice is closed, and what was the status of the tenant when it is going to be uh, expired date. So those are all will not be easily you cannot able to track it. And the third manual reconciliation, and the third is the manual reconciliation and billing. When rent comes in check or bank transfer, someone on your team must have hand post every one of these transactions in the ledger. This is slow. It is error form, and it is how you end up with the bounced payments and mismatched records, and they take days to untangle. So notice all these three platforms shared one root cause. The system was not taking to each other in real time. So the fix is not another bolt-on tool. This fix is make them one system. That is exactly what we build. So it is not to be fix the issues in the existing system. Instead of bringing as a one system that to be fix all your uh, current problems. Okay. One real-time integrated ecosystem. It's we called as a product name. We called as a Lease Nexus. One real-time integrated ecosystem built on three layers that are designed to work as a single unit. You design as a three layer, but it will be designed to work as a single unit. The first layer is the backend. So your single source of truth. It runs natively inside the Dynamic Business Central. So accounting system is your single source of truth. All the records and native ledgers and tenant information, invoices, payment, and then everything to be handled into Business Central. The second layer is the front end, the tenant portal, who the tenant which is using this portal. This is the modern and premium self-service experience built in by using a Next.js. The tenant can track their lease progress, log maintenance requests, download their documents, and pay what they owe, and it handles the acquired edge cases gracefully. For example, giving tenant dynamically grace access warning instead of simply locking them out and when the lease is close to expiry. The third layer is what that ties to first two together. The third layer is what ties to the two together. A secure automation pipeline. So we have a secure automation pipeline between the tenant and the backend layer. The front end and the backend layers are connected to the secure OData API and Stripe webhooks. In plain terms, when the tenant pays on the portal, the payment posts straight from their card into the Business Central general ledger. It is not keeping into intermediate and directly updated into the Business Central. That's what's a single source of truth. So one source of truth and one modern tenant experience and an accounting bridge between them.
Muthu, your voice is
Yes.
breaking. Muthu, we couldn't hear you in between. Could you just repeat what you have said already?
Okay. Yes. Thank you. The tenant portal. Is it clear now?
Yes, Muthu,
Hello.
you are.
Yes. The tenant portal is the self-service experience designed so the tenants can handle almost everything themselves on their own phone without emailing or calling your offices. There are six capabilities I want to highlight. So what are the six capabilities? I have mentioned tenant dashboards, online rent payments, lease e-signing, and maintenance requests, utility bill allocation, and statements and history. What is tenant dashboards? Which has real-time view of your rent balance. So how much you need to pay and payment history. When did you pay it for that against which month of invoice and the upcoming due dates. And along with that, it have the your any complaints which you have registered, whether what was the status of the compliance. And automatically, instead of you calling and check with them, you can track it in the dashboards itself. And online rent payments. Pay rent and utilities securely via Stripe payment. I mean the ACH. You had automated payments from the bank or you pay by using of your card or auto payment. And by using, we have used the Stripe. It's the payment gateway. We are using the Stripe payment gateway that will be easily you paid from your bank to the your owner's bank directly, and automatically it will be updated into Business Central actually. So lease e-signing. So review and sign your renewal digitally with the timestamp and audit. So whenever the lease is getting expired, you have to be renewed. You don't need to take a printout and then do signing and then courier it. It's not really required. It's what the manual is fully avoided and fully automated. You can sign it in renewable, you digitally, you can sign your signature and you, with your timestamp, and it's maintaining your VR audit trail as well. And maintenance request. So submit tickets with the photo upload and track the status of the complaints. If any complaints you have in your house or anybody in your apartment or house, any places, you have any complaints, you raise a ticket with your upload the photos or videos automatically and everything to be reviewed and then they will take an action and whether they take an action or not, what was the status and inline status are clearly updated and you can track on the status as well. Utility bill allocation. Uh, Pay utilities separately from the rent. Apart from rent, the common utility areas, the bill will be allocated to the individual tenants. It will be equally divided. That will be routed to your each monthly invoices, and it will be routed to distinct ledger entries. It means so how much utility bill comes, you are paying, the tenant will be paid to the owner for the one monthly rent with along with the utility bill. But for the owner, when we seeing this report, they can easily track it who have paid, how much utility bill was received, how much the rent has been received. They have a distinct ledger entries are maintained. And statements and history. So full ledger transparency with downloadable statements anytime. So ledger entries are full transparent ledger entries are available to both of them. So they can download directly. So when did you pay and how many months you have paid for a tax filing, that time this statement will help you to take it. You can directly download it. So the next is the role and access control. Now, whenever you put financial data and lease records into shared platform, the very first question is who can see and do what? So Lease Nexus is answering that with historical role-based access control. Let me keep this simple with the two core roles. So we have two core roles we have designed. We don't have a multiple things. The property management company is one role and tenant is in another role. So the property managers, so what was the scope? Individual property management company. So one company has multiple properties are handled it. Individual property manager or each property have a separate manager which is allocated. So the manager which is logged they only see that property related activities only. The scope will be displayed. And what was it means that they need to configure the which business connector and property hierarchy. So the property hierarchy means the property which is 10 story 10-story apartment. Then which the plot which is into which bill second phase or third phase, second phases or third phases, and it is a number which is 100 or 1 or 2. So those the hierarchy will be cleanly maintained. And approval tenants, whoever is requested, and the tenant is interested to want to be in a rent out, then they will be required, they will send a request, and the property manager only to review your history of records and your credit score, civil score, they will be review it and then they will be approve it. And manage the lease creation. So lease document will be creation and everything to be handled by the property managers. And they have managed staff access, who is going to be access which one, the staff access will be given to them, and scam rules and complaints documents. So everything to be handled by the property managers. And what is the tenant? So tenant, the tenant is a self-service, the tenant specific data access only. So they manage what was the responsibilities? They manage their profiles and lease documents. And invoices is automatically generated and sent to the tenant's email, and also it will be displayed into the tenant portal. So they directly pay from the tenant portal. So pay rent and utilities and submit the maintenance. So if they have any maintenance request, they need to submit the maintenance and track your maintenance request statuses. And you can see your payment history as well. If you have any payment history, you need to file your 1 year payments bill to the tax filing. That's also you can download the payment history as well. The most thing is that the restriction. So what was the restriction? The tenant access is strictly limited to their own lease and unit only. So the tenant access is only to limited to your own tenant, own lease and units only. You can't able to access the other units and leases. Okay. The full operation flow. So end-to-end process from tenant onboarding to payment reconciliation. So I have split it into 6 phases: property and lease setup. So manager creating the property. So the new manager says what is the property? The new property has been created and to be assigning the unit and to mentioning the lease in business center. So these setups will be handled in business center, and complaints occurrence, COI, lead, paint, and flood zone attached in property master. So everything to be attached and creating the set up the property and lease setup, which is the first step. The second step is tenant invitations and registration. So system will automatically send the email invite, and tenant completes registration with their credential. So first, the whoever is requested, they will be sending a tenant invitation. So tenant will enter their informations and with their complete attaching the documents and which they are setting their credentials. Lease e-signing and activation. So tenant review and e-sign the lease in portal. Once it is lease is in portal, sign the lease sync to business center. So once you are signed, the lease will be synced into business center, and then only the property manager unlock the tenant dashboard access. So until that, tenant only fill their information. That's all. Once your signing lease are approved and reviewed by approved with the property manager, then only they will be unlocking the tenant dashboard access, and then only tenant able to log into the tenant portal. So automated rent posting, scheduled code. So we have used the automation. What will happen means you don't need to every tenants you don't need to send a invoice, monthly rent invoices separately to the uh, email. So it will be a scheduled activity. Automatically, every end of what's your rent and everything was captured and set up into the business center. So what will happen means every month, first of month at 5th, based on the property manager's configuration, the scheduled job will be running in behind. Automatically, the invoices will be sending to the all the tenants, including of the utility bills. Separated, distributed utility bills will be sent to them, and then what will happen means, and also it will be updated into tenant portal as well. So whenever the tenant just log into the tenant portal, automatically the pending invoices will be shown in the top. The total pending amounts also shown in the top. They directly pay directly via the script. So they directly pay from the tenant portal itself, the payment gateway which is implemented, and you can also configure its auto payment as well, or card payment. Everything you can easily configure, and once it is paid, the amount will be directly transferred to your account from your account. It's a tenant account to the owner account, and then the same payment also updated into business center the against the invoices. So the reconciliation everything to be updated into immediately and updated into business center. So reconciliation and reporting. So payment reconciled against open invoices. So once you are paid, automatically reconcile open invoices. Which invoices you are going to pay, automatically it will be updated into business center. And dashboards show rent are all aging balances and BC sync health in real time. So you can check the syncing health time and real time syncing and everything to be aging balances, who are all need to be paid, and what was the pending date, 1 to 30 days, and 30 to 60 days, and 60 to 90 days. The payment agings and everything to be displayed in the dashboards, in the business center dashboards. So the complete rent to payment cycle. So I said it's a single source of truth via BC, full digital audit trail. We have an audit trail maintained, and zero manual data re-entry. So you don't need to rekey your invoices again or payment again. It's not required. They paid automatically invisible into pieces. Business Central, that's what they mentioned as zero manual data re-entry, real-time status update. It means the syncing will not be, it will be taking 30 minutes or 5 minutes or six, not like that. It's a real-time syncing. So real-time data status is updated because the backend which we are using is Business Central. We don't have a separate databases in between tenant portal and Business Central and scalable multi-property support. So it is this product which is support for multi-property. One company has multiple property. They are renting out the multiple property. You can maintain separate property support. It will be multi-property support and multi-tenant support as well. Platform architecture. It's a three-tier enterprise stack at Microsoft Business Central. For those you think about how it fits into your own technology stack. Let me spend a minute on this architecture. It's a clean three-tier design, and you have already met all three tiers. Just name them. Okay. The front layer is the tenant portal built in Next.js 40 and with the React, TypeScript, and Stripes. This is where the tenant pay, submit maintenance with photos, e-sign, lease, and view their transaction history. The middle layer is the API gateway built in Node.js with Express and Prisma. This is a translator and the security checkpoint. It turns portal requests on into OData v4, calls to Business Central. It handles the Stripes webhooks and it manages authentication and secure ledger posting. The backend layer is the Business Central. It's an accounting software. Extended with for Business Central, we use the AI language as an extension, AI core. More than 15 tables and 14 API pages which we have used. This is where your property hierarchy, lease lifecycle, automated rent and CAM engine, maintenance work orders, and payment posting are lists. Okay. Around that core, we integrated a few best-in-class services, types for ACH, card, and recurring payments. Twilio, we have an SMS features and email feature as well. So we use in Twilio for SMS rent reminders and status alerts, and Microsoft Graphs for emailing invoices and documents. And one thing worth stressing for the security mind in the room, we never stored card data themselves. We are not storing the card data ourselves. Stripes, the payment gateway, the Stripes handle that. And sync between layers in real time and bidirectional. It's a bidirectional syncing. So close and call to action. So let me bring this back in what it means for you. With the lease nexus, you get zero manual invoices because invoices are posted on schedule. Terms typically see around a 70% reduction in the rent posting overheads because no reconciliation you used to do by hand now happens automatically. You get a full digital audit trail on every payment and signature. And all of it says it's a real-time sync with the Business Central. So your books and your tenant portal never disagree again. This is a smart way to manage properties, lease, and tenants. Everything seamlessly connected through one system instead of scattered across many. If you like to see this running against your own scenario, we will love to set up a demo session separately. You can reach out to our sales team um, or use this link on screen to schedule time directly. Thank you so much for spending this an half an hour. I would like to grant you take your questions now.
Thank you so much, Muthu. Thank you for the insightful and the practical session. You gave yeah, us a clear view of how Lease Nexus, built on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, can help property management teams simplify lease administration, automate rent collection and maintenance workflows, enhancing the tenant experience and gain real-time visibility across their portfolio. We truly appreciate your expertise sharing with us today. And to everyone who has joined here, thank you for being here. We hope you found the session valuable. And if you have any questions or you would like to learn more about Lease Nexus, please feel free to reach us at the email ID shown here. And we'll be happy to share the recording and any relevant resources shortly. So once again, I thank you, Muthu, and thank you all for attending. Have a great, wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Muthu and team. Thank you.
Thank you.